Okay, so we're now going to continue on and to complete the pages that we've just created. So the first page that we're going to complete is the home page, and so that I can actually concentrate on the web pages, I've created text previously and done my research. So go and open up the folder where your files are, go into your text folder and open up your BA overview. Now this is currently a Word file. We need to change this to a text-only file so that when we use it actually in KompoZer, we're bringing minimal format with us. It's really important to do this, or else simply type the word straight in. So basically all it is, I'm just going to save it. So again, File, Save As, and again making sure it goes into the same folder, and simply BA Overview, that's grand, but not as a Word document. Open this up, and what we want is a text only. So we can go for plain text, which is right there, and that's grand, and save it. And you won't see any difference, so let's say OK to that. You won't see any difference on this screen, so just simply close it down completely. But you will notice now that we have a second file. And if I were to open this up now for you, before we go back to KompoZer, you can see there's a dramatic difference. It's got rid of the colours, the underline, the bold. It's actually just left it as if it's absolutely plain text, which is exactly what we want. So we're going to close that down now. I'm going to close this folder down now. I think I'll just minimize it for now just in case I need it again. And it's there. So now we're back in KompoZer. And what we need to do is we need to open this text now in KompoZer so that we can use it and copy and paste it from one file into another file as and when we need it. So I'm going to hit the plus symbol. There are the two files. And remember, the one you want is the text only file. So I'm going to click on this, double click, and as you can see, it opens up here nice and neatly. So this is what we want, and we will use it from here as much or as little as it that we need. Okay, so I'll close that up on a temporary basis. And what I want now is I want to bring over the index file, or sorry, open it up. So pointing at the index folder here, or files, I should say, opening up, and here we go. So the first thing we're going to do is on a blank line underneath BA homepage, we're going to type in BA overview. Okay, we're going to make that a heading 2. So we'll just highlight that and heading 2. And again, remember we did this earlier on. So the next thing we want is we want some of the text. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back over here. And there's the program overview. So I just simply want to get all of this text here. So that's pulled it all up. And again, I'm afraid it does go over quite a bit. So you just got to be comfortable with that. I'm going to copy this text. I'm going to go back to my home page, making sure the cursor is in the right place, and paste. And it just drops itself right down. Okay, I just want to go back and I want to make sure that the body style is Arial. So I'm going to back into the CSS. Just click on the body, go to the text, and that's fine. It's already Arial, so that's good. So we'll say OK to that. And that's the first part down. Okay, you can also see here that this text is quite tight to the left and right area here and here. So we're going to, what's referred to as, we're going to pad it a little bit to bring it slightly away from the edge. So again, we're going to go back to our CSS, and what we're looking here for is the main area. So we haven't yet done one, so we'll just click on our palette and go for ID and find our main area div, which is here, and create the style rule. And again, what we want to do here is just do a little bit of padding. So we're going to pad it out a bit from the right and from the left. So we're going to go and put it to 7 pixels. And again, you can experiment with this to see how much you think is good or bad. You can actually see it's just come away ever so slightly. And that's all I really want. It's just to make it just come away slightly from the edge so it's not sitting. And there we go again. So again, if you wanted to increase and decrease, you can see you can go in as much as little as you want. And again, it's preference. It's just that I don't think it looks good when it's just sitting right on top of the line. So again, I'm going to put this back to 7, like I said I was going to, because I only want it slightly in. Now I'm going to say OK to that, and that's that part done. Okay, I'm going to just go to the end of this text here, press return twice, and again I'm going to put in the next heading here, and the next heading for here is program content. and structure. On to the next line. Again, I will actually highlight that and change that into a heading 2 as well. Just click on the next available line. I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to actually take down the rest of this. So I'm going to highlight from here and just get all of that text there, and I'm going to copy just that text back over again making sure I'm in the right place and pasting it into place. So that's great. One thing I haven't done, as you can see there, I haven't saved this, so it's important to save it. So I'm going to click on Save Now to make sure it's okay. So what I'm going to do next is put some images in here. I'm going to put one image with this paragraph over to the right, and here an image over to the left. So first of all, place the cursor where you want the image to occur, which is the beginning of here. Now it's going to seem funny because I'm going to tell it to go to the left and it'll actually go to the right, but I'm afraid that's KompoZer for you. So I'm going to go to Image first of all, and I'm going to insert an image at this point. So I'm going to open this up, and what I want in here is Saint A02, which is, sorry, 01, which is that one right there, and I'm going to open it. Now this is quite large, but we're going to leave it alone for the moment, and we're going to see what it looks like, and I'm going to say OK to that. And again, alternative text, that's what the message up there. So I'm going to put alternative text in there. I'm just going to put classroom images. And again, OK. And as you can see, it's gone in there. That's a bit too large, but this time I'm going to just simply redimension it here. So I'm going to click on it and just ever so gently bring it down to a more reasonable size. Now I need it to go from here to over there and wrap around the text. So with the image still selected, I'm going to go back to Image, and it still has got the location up for me. So basically what I want to do now is I want to go to the appearance of it, and what I'm telling it to do is I'm going to tell it to wrap it to the left, and I'm going to say OK. So as you can see, even though I said to do it to the left, it's actually going to done it to the right. But again, that's just one of those things with KompoZer. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to increase the actual space around the image. I might just want to get a little bit more space here and here. So again, whilst the image is still selected, I'm going to go back to Image. And of course, I could have done all this without coming in and out, but it's just, I think, good for you to be able to see all these different things. So again, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the appearance in here, and this is spacing to the left and the right, the top and the bottom, and to be able to put a solid border on, which I'm going to do as well. So basically in here, I am going to go to the left and the right, and I'm going to put 2 pixels in here. So 2 pixels. Unfortunately, you can't do just the left or just the right, it's both. And that's why I tend to go for small numbers. I'm going to say OK there, and I can see that it's ever so gently done it. It has very gently done it. I might actually go and do a little bit more than that. So I might actually just increase that to maybe 5 and say OK to that. Yeah, that's a wee bit better. I'm also going to go back in there, and I'm also going to put a solid border in there. I think I'm going to try number 2 first to see what that looks like. Yeah, I think it's just good, especially when you've got the cloud over here that doesn't give it a very definitive edge. I just think it helps to define the image a little bit better. Okay, so that's how it is to insert an image and to align it and to put it out. So I'm going to do exactly the same now, and I'm going to put an image in here of the lakeside. So I'm going to click in here. Again, I'm going to do all of it this time together. So image, what I want in here is the lakeside, the lake view, and I'm going to say OK to that. The alternative text is lake view of college. I'm going to leave the dimensions alone because I'm going to pull it and stretch it on the image itself. The appearance, I want it again left and right. I'm going to put maybe 5 pixels in there, and I'm going to stay with the 2 pixel for the border, just like I did below. And the alignment I want is to the right. And I'm going to say OK to this, and there you can see it's quite large. So I'm going to click on this and greatly reduce it. And there we go, and you can see the way it's wrapped around. Okay, so that's how to add text and images onto a straightforward page. So let's just save that page, and let's go have a look at it out on the browser. So let's F5 that and let's see what it looks like. And there we have it. So it's looking pretty neat and tidy. So that's page 1 completed.